Welcome back, everybody. I'm Natalie, and I'm going to guide you today in a practice for a night where you just didn't get the right kind of sleep that you wanted. So perhaps you were tossing and turning and not getting that solid sleep that you wanted, but you still have to get on with your day. So this will be a great way to just give yourself that extra compassion and take a couple of poses that are relaxing, getting you breathing, and hopefully feeling so much better. So let's get started, everybody. Today you're going to need maybe a cushion from your couch or a yoga bolster would be helpful. 2 blocks, and anything else that you like that makes you cozy and comfy. We're going to start with some breathing in constructive rest pose. So go ahead and come onto your backs. Rest your hands on your lower belly, bringing your feet about hip width or more, maybe even as wide as your mat, letting your knees cave in slightly. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. Allowing your breath to be natural to begin with, just feeling the rise and fall of the breath. So having a bad night of sleep in which you had several different wake-ups during that sleep can make you feel irritable, frustrated as you go through your day, and very low in mood and energy. So it's really nice to be able to offer yourself compassion at this time. So take a moment, bring your hands up to your heart center. Acknowledge that this is difficult, and acknowledge that you're tired. Acknowledge that you're not feeling quite like yourself, and that's okay. That's going to be okay today. It's more important to be calm and relaxed, and by later today, you'll be ready for your next night of sleep. Knowing that actually it's normal to wake up 1 or 2 times. So sleep studies have shown that most people do wake up one or 2 times during the night, and thinking that's not supposed to happen will just add to your stress when you're trying to sleep again the next night. So let yourself know that you can sleep deeply, you will sleep better. Let your body catch up to you, and offer yourself some loving kindness today. Start by saying to yourself, may I be at peace. May I be at peace. May I be gentle with myself today. May I be gentle with myself today. May I be kind to my body this day. May I be kind to my body this day. And take a deep breath in, and let's chant a round of Om together. So let's start with our first yin yoga pose, which is called banana asana. So bring your legs out. You'll see I have these blocks, so you might need one of these if you have tight shoulders. So we'll see how it goes. So bring your feet long, bring your arms over your head and loosely clasp your elbows, wrists, or forearms. Walk your feet to the right side of your mat, not as far as you can go, but enough where you feel a gentle opening on that left side. Open and bring your arms to that same side. So your body looks like it's in the shape of a banana, which is why it's called banana asana. So we're going to stay in this pose for 2 minutes, breathing. If your shoulders are tight and your arms don't touch the floor behind you when you do this, then you'll add the yoga block. So you'll just take it, put it behind your head, not on your head, behind your head, and rest your arms on that block so you still get that side bend. If your back is bothering you, you can bend your knees in this pose and still have the side bend going at the same time. So let's breathe. This is opening our heart meridian channels, and the heart meridian is known to help us with insomnia, restlessness, anxiety, and the fire element, which is most active in the summer, but it might be active in you if you're feeling restless, stressed out, too busy, not too much going on, and even if it's good stuff, can be too much, and then we have trouble sleeping. So let yourself rest here. The bad night of sleep is already behind you. This is just going to make you feel a little better. And give yourself lots of grace as you go through this day today. Periodically pausing, maybe placing your hand over your heart and saying, may I be kind to myself today. May I be kind. So remember, in yin yoga, we find the shape, we find the pose, and then we relax all the muscles. There's no stretching necessarily, no active stretching of muscles. It's happening passively. That's what yin yoga is. It's a passive stretch, and it's going to target your connective tissue around your joints and ligaments and bones. It's a different way of feeling more flexible. And if flexibility is one of the things you want, then yin yoga is a great way to work on that. So let's bring our feet back towards the center. Relax your arms, bring your upper body back to center, arms down, and just take a moment to feel the rebound of this pose. Notice what that feels like now. Notice the flow of chi, the flow of energy through your body. And then slowly release your legs, and let's do that on the other side. So walk your feet over to the left side of your mat. Bring your arms up and over, just loosely holding the wrists, elbows. Lift your upper body, your head, your neck, your shoulders up. Move them to the left as well. Banana asana. If it's a very intense stretch already, then you might want to back off an inch or so. So overstretching is not something you want to do in yin yoga. The long holds do the work. You don't have to grasp or cling or reach or stretch actively. So yin is passive. Let yourself receive the pose. Breathing. And allow your mind to come out of the place of, it's going to be a bad day because I didn't get enough sleep. I don't know how I'm going to get through this day. All the worrying that comes from a bad night's sleep just actually makes it worse. So instead, accept that you're tired, accept that you're exhausted, and it's okay. You don't have to change it or feel a different way or try to fix yourself. Just let yourself be tired. Focusing on the long, smooth exhalation that's going to be calming. Let's take one more deep breath together. Big sigh out through your mouth. Perhaps it's a yawn. Let's bring our feet back to center. Bring your upper body back to center and just take a moment to rest. Your knees could be bent or straight. Feel the chi flowing through the sides of your body. So in yin yoga, we find the pose. We make sure it's an appropriate edge so we're not pushing past our boundaries, our physical boundaries. We resolve to be still, to stay in stillness, and we stay for a while. We hold the poses for, in this class, 2 to 3 minutes. So let's move on to our next pose. You can roll over to the side and press up. And we're going to use a bolster. This is going to open up your chest and shoulders, which you can feel really kind of collapsed when you're tired. And so this is going to open things up and bring some sunshine into your nervous system. So when we're doing yoga, it's never just for one thing. It's always mind, body, and we're looking for what's the lesson for us each day. So you're lying over your bolster, spine lined up. Let's put one block under each knee, feet together in butterfly. Now it's yin yoga, so we don't want to bring our feet so close to the groin that we're getting too much stretch in the inner thigh. This is supposed to be mild. And then let your arms release out to the sides. You could put a pillow or folded blanket under your head if your head is rolling back too far and your neck is unhappy, as well as if your chest is a little too tight for this stretch. Add some blanket or pillow under your head. And we'll be here for 3 minutes, relaxing, releasing, accepting, sending ourselves compassion. And notice what you do when you've had a bad night's sleep. So if this is a chronic thing that's happening all the time, you need to come up with some practices. First is always get right out of bed. If you're in bed for longer than 20 minutes, do not linger. Getting out of bed is going to help your body create what's called sleep drive, so that you'll be more tired when the time comes, and then you will get a better night's sleep the next night. So this is all from cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which I've used myself in the past. And if you look up Martin Reed on YouTube, I've used a lot of his videos. Just he has some really great strategies for anxiety around not sleeping and letting go of all that, and some strategies for getting better sleep. So getting out of bed is one, and doing something easy, pleasurable, even if it's just moving to the couch and um, snuggling up in some blankets and watching TV or whatever it is, get out of bed. You don't want to linger. And it's most important to get up at the same time every day than it is to go to sleep at the same time if you have to pick one. This way you're always going to create that sleep drive. So if you get up at 8 but you went to bed at 2, then you'll be like, oh, I'm so tired by 12, right? 12 midnight or whenever you go to bed. And then the self-compassion strategies, like what can I take out of my day? What could I do tomorrow instead? Cut yourself some slack. Don't expect yourself to be doing the same things you always do unless you have no choice. Sometimes we have no choice. You know, we have to go to work and we have to do certain things. But there are extracurriculars that we can cancel, we can say no, we can give ourselves that grace. And let's take another deep breath together and let it go with a big sigh or yawn or both. Bring your arms up in the air. Stretch long. Stretch your legs out. Release your arms and then bend your knees and let's roll off to the side. And slide your bolster out and your blocks out of your way. And then we'll do our next pose. So lie on your back first. Just take a moment to feel the effects so far. Hands on the belly, relaxing. Reflecting, noticing how you're feeling so far. Okay, so let's take our bolster. You don't need a bolster for this, but I just find it's really comfortable and supportive. And this is more of a restorative style version when you use the bolster. So bring the bolster the long way next to your hip to lower body, arms outstretched. Move your hips to the left first. Lift your knees up and over to the right and rest those lower legs on the bolster. The head is straight, the shoulders relax down, and the palms turn up. Spinal twist. So again, we're opening up the heart meridian channels, otherwise known as the fire channels, and they are located in the inner arms. The yin side is in the inner arms and the chest. And when there's too much fire, that's when it's hard for us to sleep. That's when we get restless and have insomnia. So we want to reduce the fire in our lives. That means reduce the yang, the doing, the overdoing, overworking. Find more time to connect. Connect to friends and loved ones. Be with people that you feel safe with. Take time to nourish your nervous system. Whatever that looks like for you. Yoga, a hot bath at the end of the day, a walk in nature. That's one of the best things for a bad night's sleep is to get some fresh air, to go outside a little bit, to be in nature, and to let go of perhaps a hard workout that you planned or any strenuous kinds of activities. Let those go. Let's take a few more deep breaths together. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Yawn it out. One more breath. And release. Bring your legs onto the ground, straight out in front of you, or you can bend your knees and just take a moment to feel. So let's try that on the other side. So take your bolster, bring it to the left side of your mat, and move your hips to the right side. Lift up your knees up and over, and you can adjust that bolster up or down till it feels good on your back, your neck, your chest. Taking deep breaths in and out, and especially favoring the exhalation. So when you didn't get a good night's sleep, usually stress goes up, the stress hormone, so it's actually better to not do things the next day if you can help it that aren't going to ramp up your stress levels. So deep breaths out, straw breath, breathing out through the imaginary straw, so making like an O shape with your lips and breathing out like you're breathing out through a straw. Inhaling through the nose and breathing out through that straw, the straw breath, or crow's breath it's called. So this kind of breath helps the exhale be even longer, which tells tells your nervous system, everything's good, I'm relaxed. And then the body says, okay, I'll relax more. And the brain says, me too. And stress levels and hormones go down. So that's what we want. One more breath. And inhale, slowly coming out of this pose. Bring your hips back to center. If you want to use that bolster again, you can bring it under your knees. And let's take a resting pose for a moment. So let your body rest completely now. Feeling free to put a blanket over the top of you or some socks on. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, and let's take Shavasana. You can stay here resting, and I'll read you a poem to close out our class. Today's poem is called Sacred Exhaustion by Jeff Foster. Your tiredness has dignity to it. Do not rush to pathologize it or push it away, for it may contain great intelligence, even medicine. You have been on a long journey from the stars, friend. Bow before your tiredness now. Do not fight it any longer. There is no shame in admitting that you cannot go on. Even the courageous need to rest. For a great journey lies ahead, and you will need all of your resources. Come, sit by the fire of presence. Let the body unwind. Drop into the silence here. Forget about tomorrow. Let go of the journey to come, and sink into this evening's warmth. Every great adventure is fueled by rest at its heart. Your tiredness is noble, friend, and contains healing power if you would only listen. So slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Taking a big stretch up over your head with your arms. And taking a big inhale. Big sigh. As you lower your arms. And slowly rising up towards seated. You can roll to your side first to gradually come up. And bring your hands together at your heart center. Bowing to your inner teacher, your deepest self. Having compassion for this body today as it needs all the energy it can get. Let's end with the sacred sound of Om together. May we be kind to ourselves. May we have compassion. May we be gentle. Namaste, and thank you so much, everybody. I hope you get a great night's sleep tonight. And really be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you again real soon. Please remember to hit subscribe if you like the content that I'm putting out, because then I'll know to make more videos. So hit subscribe, and please like this video. And if you got all the way through this video, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know how this was for you. And if you have any tips for what helps you when you've had a sleepless night, what are your self-care strategies? Thanks again, everybody. Take care.